Ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.
What is going on, comic fans? It's Sunday. That means this is At Week's End, the spoiler-filled look back at this week in comics and whatever else has gone on. And there's a lot to talk about with TV alone. So we're going to be diving into a lot of television this week. And we have comics from the past 2 weeks to talk about as we did the Deadpool spoiler special the week before. And we're going to get into all that right after this. Joined as always by the co-hostess with the mostest.
I'm not ready. Okay, I'm ready.
You look ready. You look ready. Sector 2815. What's going on, Paul? How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited for tomorrow. I was just telling Paul I just finished reading Task Force 7, issue number 3, which we'll be covering and talking about during the big celebration tomorrow night on his channel.
Mm-hmm.
We do the DC deep dive over there, and it's the 100th episode. So to celebrate 100 episodes of breaking down DC Comics, we're doing a live stream, and it's going to be at what time?
9:30 real time Eastern.
So 9:30 Eastern. It's going to be fun. We're going to be talking Absolute Power live versus the pre-recorded, and we're doing it live because that way we can interact with folks, as well as Paul's got a ton of stuff he's giving away during that stream.
Do you want to see it?
Absolutely. Let's show everybody what they can be picking up. So
Okay.
definitely come by, hang out, chat. You know, it's the Monday night lineup that goes on. So we're just jumping on the back end of that.
So while we're looking ahead for Absolute Power, we thought we would, for 100th episode, we would look back as well. And so we're giving away, it all started with Dark Crisis. So we're giving away the Dark Crisis hardcovers, the Dark Crisis proper, the World Without a Justice League, and the Tales of the Dark Crisis.
But don't
And then-
worry.
And then
Don't
if you recall, after that we moved to Lazarus Planet, so we're going to give away Lazarus Planet, and then we moved to Night Terror, so we're going to give away those two to someone as well. And then we just kept going because we were having so much fun. And we covered Gotham, Batman, Catwoman, Gotham War, and we covered Titans Beast World. And so we have the hardcover of Gotham War, and we have the 6 lenticular covers of Titans Beast World 1 through 6. And then that should bring us up to Absolute Power, where we are now.
That's a lot. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. So come on by.
It's gonna be really fun. Dude, I'm very excited to talk that Task Force 7. That was such a good issue of a comic book. But I'm gonna say hey to a couple people we got in the chat already. Las Crucias 1971. What is happening? Hope you're doing good. What is up? J-Med, the package arrived today. Thank you so much. Or I guess John Comic Avalon. He took the J-Med off of it.
Really?
Call you what I want to call you.
Look at you getting deliveries on a Sunday. What's up with that?
It might have been there from yesterday.
I might have had it since January.
I wasn't walking
tell.
to my mailbox yesterday. It was storming like crazy. What is going on, Trev, the shipping guru, Brother John's Comics, and he's the leading man. Everyone's placing their bets on him is bringing home all the prizes tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Sticker people are ready. Yeah, shout out to the sticker people. I am a proud fan of small vinyl adhesives.
Mm-hmm.
Comic Cap Collectibles, what is up, homie? Hope you're doing good. Phil, hello. Cliff on Comics, what is up? 34-month member milestone. All hail
Nice.
King Legion. Yeah, from what I understand, I was designated the unofficial official king of the sticker people. I guess that's pretty cool, but unfortunately, I had to turn down the title as one, I'm too busy, and 2, I don't quite understand what's expected of me if I accept.
All you gotta do is be able to wave like this. That's what you gotta be able to do.
Yeah, just every now and then.
Exactly. Yeah.
Needed. I can do that. What is going on? The Adventurous Joe is in the building. Is this where all the sticker people hang out? Yeah, we stick together. What is going on, Kenneth Bird? What is up? Mark the Sticker King. There it is. And I need a sticker of that. And that's what we need. We need to get meta with this.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're definitely not going to drag tonight's show out as it's the season finale
Yes.
to the best television show of the year, House of Dragons, over on HBO. It's not just TV, it's HBO. But before we watch that tonight, we're definitely going to be talking and recapping a little bit from the last week because it was such a strong episode and a great setup for the finale. And definitely want to dive into that. And we'll do that right after we say 13 months strong from the adventurous one. Bring it on, BJC. I will fight you for the prizes. Oh, Brother John's Comics. I was sitting here. I was trying to. The C threw me off.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Marvel Jesus. Don't take the sword. Okay. Yeah, so House of Dragons finale, they set up with the last episode. Rhaenyra was out trying to find riders for the unclaimed dragon. In the previous episode, we saw where she attempted to get one of her military leaders to claim one of the dragons, and the dragon wasn't having it. We also saw in that same episode where Sea Smoke took off and went and claimed a person on its own, all on its own. One of the what is he called? The sea snake.
I don't remember what his name. His name was it's Alan of Hull.
I'm saying like the guy who's in charge of all the boats. It was one of his his underlings that are with the sea people.
Yep.
Sea snake. Yeah.
Sea snake. Okay.
But yeah, so with Sea Smoke has a rider, and that believes Goldwing and Vermithal, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is the second largest dragon that was unclaimed.
Vermithal sounds like something you take for a sore back.
I could use some of that. But, so in this episode, we saw Jace, her son, who himself is a bastard, point out that we need to go look to all the small folk and find all the bastards out there, because there are plenty of them running around, because it's just kind of common practice. And that's where this episode leads us. We've seen the Master of Whispers for the Queen go out and start like planting the seat in King's Landing and stuff, and just kind of putting the people against them.
Yeah. So it was, I called this last episode, this was the Oprah Winfrey episode. And you get a dragon, and you get a dragon, and you get a dragon. But then I had a little bit of a problem with her son, because her son was like, we got to find more people to fly these dragons. And then when she does, he's like, why did you find all these people to fly these dragons? I'm not going to be king anymore.
Yeah, he was a little reluctant at that point.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool before we go ahead.
You would think that, just round up everybody with bright blonde hair and throw them on a dragon.
Hair, come this way.
Yeah,
and to be honest with you, like that's what I thought early on, like when they were talking about it. I'm like, we just go get everybody with the silver hair and they get a dragon, and it apparently isn't that easy, because we end up with a good group of, I'd say, at least 20 people that go into the Dragon's Keep in this episode, and the dragon comes forward and just looks at Rhaenyra and starts decimating everyone in the room. Everyone, burning them, smacking them, eating them. It was wild. And I put up a post. I said we had Game of Thrones gave us Battle of the Bastards. House of the Dragons gave us Barbecue of the Bastards, because they were roasting them. Yeah, they were taking them out. But we saw Hugh Hammer hold fast, and it was a really, really great how they did it. Like he was went from running for his life to standing up to a dragon to attempt to save the life of someone else, and kind of just giving up. Like, this is it. I'd rather die on my feet, kind of thing. And the dragon kind of respected him at that point. And since then, it looked like they made that bond. And I don't remember the other guy's name, the drunk from the bar that went running and stumbled upon Goldwing's lair.
Yeah. He's going to be the comic relief on the dragon.
Obviously, because Goldwing just liked him from Rip, and he jumps on Goldwing and flies straight back home to show all of his old poor friends his new car.
Exactly. Look what I got. I stole it.
It was really awesome, though. Just like it's really cool seeing people ride dragons. I don't think that'll ever not be cool. It's kind of like dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs, unless it's in a Shazam comic. But
but how good of a final scene was that, with Aegon flying towards the castle and just like, no, turn back.
Yeah, so I don't know the guy's name, but when he flew over King's Landing, Eamon immediately ran and jumped on Vhagar and went to pursue him. The pursuit took him back to Dragonstone, and when he got into eye shot of Dragonstone, he told Vhagar to turn around. And touch to Dragonstone, and Rhaenyra is already on the shore waiting for him, and just dragons just popping up.
3 dragons behind him. Yeah.
Okay, let's go. And that's where it left us. Like that's who she wants. She wants Aemon. That's public enemy number 1. Right. When the show started, Paul, I thought that they were going to have like kind of this duality to it. Like we're going to see both sides of the story. And we did for a little while Like, who are you going to choose, House Green or House Black? And I don't know anybody, including myself, that roots for a House Green. And I'm biased to the color green, but I want to see it all burned down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Aemon is not. I mean, I haven't read the stories, so I don't know how this works out. But to me, um, Aemon is not long for this world.
Hopefully not. He's a terrible, terrible human being. And
Mhm.
I saw a lot of funny memes on the old social media this week when because people online hate Sir Kristen Cole.
Yeah,
Like that
absolutely.
character is just despised universally. So much so that the actor in real life had to, like, I think he had to deactivate some of his
Yep.
social media stuff
Mhm.
because people were having a hard time separating the character from the actor. He's doing such a good job. But his character does not make an appearance in this episode. And I saw so many different
Mhm.
memes from so many different places of people praising his appearance in this episode. And it would just be like a black, just an all black picture.
Right.
Because they're
Yeah.
just so happy to have not had to see him.
And the thing is, his character hates himself as much as everybody else hates his character.
Yeah, yeah. He's doing such a great job. What is going on, Chicago Schultze? What's up, circumstances? Yeah, I'm incredibly, incredibly excited to watch this season finale. And I'm super duper sad that it's the season finale
Mhm.
because I believe it's a 2-year wait between seasons on this show.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, obviously because I mean, one they film over in Europe somewhere, so they have to get everyone together. But
They don't
although
film in this.
it may not be as long because we did have the strike in the. Although actually, the strike did not actually impact House of Dragons because they were all part of, or 99% of them were part of a different union. They weren't part of the American union. They were part of like a British union or whatever. Um, so they weren't as impacted. But I mean, with all the filming that they had to do, and all the post production and the special effects, it just takes so long to get these things done.
Boom, circumstances just gifted
Oh,
5
nice.
channel memberships. That puts you in the Legion supporter tier. And oddly enough, and this is Marcus just being the online thinker that he is, that entitled you to a free welcome pack, which includes some stickers. So if you just got gifted a membership, Canadian Survivalist, Kenneth Bird, Las Cruces, Carlito, Rad Arts. If y'all have not gotten your welcome pack from previous memberships or anything, just message me on Instagram, Facebook, or wherever. I'll be happy to ship you out a free new member welcome packet, which includes stickers, which puts you firmly in the Sticker People Club.
Right.
Hashtag sticker person behavior.
We will teach you the special handshake at some point.
Are there any sports happening right now, Paul?
The Olympics are on.
Okay. Marcus, do you bet on the Olympics? Marcus told me previously, this was a couple months back, that he says that he tries to put some good karma in the air, pretty much, that he'll put out these do a little bit of gifting memberships, and it normally comes back pretty well on the sports betting.
We're pro football is right around the corner, so
There we go. Durr said NFL preseason. I know it's wrestling season. Everyone was talking about Super Slam.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, I was making the John Cena prank call.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Super Slam. There it is. I had a good
There you
UFC.
go.
Like, yeah, all
There you
right.
go. All right.
Hope it was a good fight, my man. Hope it was a good fight. And that brings me to since we're talking sports ball, I do want to point out I have the privilege, the opportunity to go to the Augusta Green Jackets baseball game. They're an affiliate team for the Braves. The minor league affiliate team for the Braves is how it was worded there, which I did pay attention to because I wasn't in the know. I know that there's something about the Braves, whatever. But they reached out to me and asked me, because of this channel right here, because of just this little old thing that we do here for fun, just as a way to enjoy this hobby and hang out with friends and meet people and just have fun with such a fun hobby. It takes you places, we
Who'd have
did,
thunk it?
yeah, we just, this is just for fun. And we still have the Comics Curing Cancer venture that we all do, that we all come together like butt cheeks. And $95,000 we've raised to help cockslam cancer. That's no small feat. And that's all coming from people that are just doing this out of the goodness of their heart, just because it's fun and we enjoy this. We had the Heroes Con we were able to set up at and everything. And at this point, Heroes Con is like the crazy, like the meetup of tons and tons of us that get together annually now to do that. You and I meet every summer now on vacation and spend the day together and hang out with my family and go around. Like we met here on YouTube, and we are real life friends now, as well as countless people in this chat. It blows my mind, but also because of sticker people behavior, the Augusta Green Jackets messaged me last week and asked me if I would be interested in coming out and throwing out the first pitch at the Augusta Green Jackets game. And I guess like I really didn't think nothing of it. I read the message and then I showed my mom because I was with her when we got the message, and she got giddy. She went into full proud mom mode, and I started thinking about it. So I messaged them back and asked for more information, and turned into a family outing. I told my oldest, she was all excited and she came. Pops went, of course. My mom went, family, friends went. We just went to have an evening at the ball game where I just happened to throw the first pitch at. But the first thing I did was reach out to Rob and DJ because, the three of us coordinate C3. And I asked them because they asked me for a little read, like, how do you want to be introduced? And I turned it into a commercial for Comics Curing Cancer. And I actually have more footage, but I'm going to show you a little clip of actually throwing the ball out. I didn't know it was such a big deal for somebody to be able to throw a ball to another human being, because leading up to it, Tyler, Marcus, numerous people asked me, "Are you going to be able to make it?" I'm like, "Make it where? To the plate." Of course, it's just throwing a ball, but apparently, it's a skill that people lose.
Oh, absolutely. People can just get so nervous that it either bounces halfway between home plate and the pitcher's mound, or they airmail it to the backstop.
That's true. That's fair. I mean, but here's the clip of me throwing out the first pitch at the Augusta Green Jackets.
Up next, representing Legions of Comics, is Mark Landrum. Mark is a YouTube host for Legions of Comics and one of the campaign coordinators for Comics Curing Cancer, an official fundraiser campaign of the American Cancer Society. Through their efforts over the past 3 years, Comics Curing Cancer has been able to raise over $95,000 to help fight cancer. Cancer is truly a super villain, but
Boom. They're lucky too, because if it had been a week later and they had asked you how do you want to be announced, you would have said, "I want to be announced as King of the Sticker People."
King of the Sticker People. Yeah. Phil said, "I saw you throw the first pitch." Were you there, Phil? Phil, were you there? Pops was he was really campaigning for me to knock somebody out.
I heard you also signed the national anthem. Is that true?
No, they had this kid couldn't have been all of 12, 13 years old, like on an electric guitar, shredded the national anthem, man. It was
Nice.
It was impressive. Like we're all sitting there with like our jaw on the floor. Like, what is happening? This is amazing.
Nice.
Did a fantastic job. Mark talking about sports is amazing. And I brought this up to a couple of people that kept talking about it. So I played soccer for 12 years. I ran track and field. I skateboarded. I skateboarded seriously. Like Pops built a half pipe in my backyard. I did a couple local competitions, nothing big. Like I skateboarded seriously for years, and I played disc golf for longer than I can remember now. I'm an active person. I just like joking with everybody about sports. I guess I don't know. I took for granted throwing a baseball, I guess. Mm-hmm. First pitch is a legit honor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I feel honored because they were having a night called Defenders of the Diamond. They do different promotional stuff to draw crowds in and to raise money. And they themselves were they had a local credit union. I don't know how local it is. It might be big, but they sponsored the jerseys they were wearing that night, the Green Jackets players, and they were inspired by superheroes. They were all matching, but it looked they were all green with some cool design, almost like a Marvel outfit. And after the game, during the game, they were doing an auction, a silent auction for those jerseys. So all the money they made during the auction went to Walton Options, which is a physical rehab place or a rehab center here in Augusta. So it was really cool. So they're doing superhero theme. They had Spider-Man there taking photos and meeting kids and stuff. And it was just awesome. It was legitimately a fun time. I can't wait to go back again just to go. That was my first time at the brand new park they have and everything, and
it looks cool. Really nice too.
Yeah, it's super nice. Yeah, it was really cool. I didn't know how if I would have known if it being all that, I might have been nervous, but I wasn't. dude, I'm one of those people that like if you're not like my family, you know what I mean, or like my close friends, like I don't understand how those people can phase me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
The only people whose opinion matters are to me at least are my family and my close friends. I'm like concrete over here listening, Bert. What?
Wow. Okay. Mm.
Look at that. God dang sticker person. Wow. Magnificent. It's majestic. Majestic. You made it to the plate. Yeah. Yeah, I just lobbed it. I'm like, I'm not trying to throw a
Right.
fastball or
Exactly.
anything. I'm not trying to get put on the team after this one throw. I'm just gonna toss that man the ball.
Mhm. There you go. Just like playing in the backyard.
Oh, it went online. Send me that. I'm trying to get some more footage or clips. I'm waiting on my oldest to email me. I had her videotape it vertically, and Kyle videotaped it on my phone from the stands. This camera just be like that, Steve.
Mm.
It could just be the internet, which it
Yeah. I
could.
mean, I looked fine on my phone. I checked after I saw that. So
Yeah, I'm looking here. You don't look bad.
mm. I
It has
definitely
time
looked
to.
worse.
You should have waited until they were done with the intro for you, though. No, I did that on purpose because it was a read. It was a read, and I was looking at the catcher, and I'm sitting there when she's starting to read, and I looked at him because like there's other stuff going on, and I looked at him, I just kind of went like that, and he gave me the head nod and put his glove up, so I threw it.
Hmm.
So I went with what the person who was paid to catch the ball
Exactly.
was suggesting. I just watched the first episode of Caped Crusader. Perfect segue. Thank you,
There you
Carlito.
go.
New channel member here,
There you
Carlito
go.
Classico. And also as a reminder, we're drawing for the Legion loot tonight, so don't go anywhere. We'll show that off. But let's switch into Cape Crusader. Made the thumbnail. This has been something that a lot of people have been highly anticipating. Burke is on episode 3. He's also posting his reviews for not just the Cape Crusader, but as he's reading through his comics,
Hmm.
trailers, whatever it is. Steve is doing quick reviews on his YouTube shorts. Be sure to check those out. But Paul, I'm one episode in. That's all I got. That's all I'm in. How far are you?
I am 5 episodes in. I'm halfway done.
Holy potatoes. Well, can you give us the setup for what the show is, how it got here, and then we'll get into our thoughts on it.
Sure. It is basically it is produced by Bruce Timm, so it's got the Tim seal of approval. But also, J.J. Abrams produces it, Matt Reeves produces it, Ed Brubaker produces it. So there, James Tucker produces it. If you know anything about James Tucker, he's huge. He's a big name in DC animation. Um, um,
Reviewing everything, man. Shoot, I'll review this live stream.
Only 9 out of 10. Damn.
Well, there's still
Um,
a stream left. There's still a stream
Exactly,
left.
exactly. So it is, it's got the heavy hitters of the animation as well as the people who are currently doing, the Batman as well. It's kind of like the spiritual successor of Batman the Animated Series, although I think it is the episodes that I have watched. They said when Batman the Animated Series came out, it was kind of like an homage to like the Superman Fleischer um, uh, shorts. But to me, this one is even more. To me, if Fleischer was doing a Batman in the 1930s or the 1940s, this is what it would have looked at. Because everything is old school. It's like, 1930s, 1940s. The hair styles are 1930s, 1940s, the same that you would have seen in the Superman Fleischer shorts. Um, and the Batman looks like the 1939 Batman. If he had
The
purple
gloves
gloves,
were
it would have been perfect.
yeah, the black.
But he's
There,
got
he's
he
got
got
the
the black
gloves.
gloves, and he's got
Yeah,
the ears that are kind of like out as well too. So, um, and it's just written so well, and it's a little bit of a different take on some of the villains. Like Penguin is a female in this
they should have
particular.
changed their name.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind her being a female whatsoever. We have great female gangster characters already in Batman's rogues and stuff, but Oswaldo just sounds so goofy.
Yeah. Yeah. The episode with Harley Quinn is kind of flip flops, although she is, definitely, crazy as Harley Quinn. She is like more of a like floozy type, dimwit as Harleen Quinn, and she's much more in control and much more plotting and planning as Harley Quinn. So they kind of flipped the personalities in the Harley Quinn episode.
Steve says, love the aesthetic. It's slightly woke, but very good overall. Sledge said, I watched 3 while I was working out. 4 out of 10. Dialogue is horrible, ahistorical, and wasn't engaging.
Steve calls it woke, I assume, because there's a romance.
They gender swapped a character, included a gay
and then Harley Quinn and Renee Montoya kiss in one of the episodes. So
we'll hold out for the scissoring episode, then it'll be A-okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but again, like that on the surface, just it's in the delivery. Let's see what they do with it. I haven't watched past episode 1. I will say, like, all I got right now for you is it has the vibes. Like, I was wanting the Batman animated series vibes, and it has the vibes. I'm there. I feel like I'm in like this little transitional mode of like I'm still clinging in my mind to TAS while I'm watching it, so it still feels familiar but foreign. And one thing I do want to talk about is the opening sequence. Batman the animated series for me has like the all-time opening sequences for animated shows. I know X-Men has the theme music. It has like a stellar opening theme for sure. But for me, there was something about that Batman one as a kid because the aesthetics in that one are unique to that show. There's some stuff that looks that you can take it as old school, but it's not. It's like World of Tomorrow looking stuff, you know, that World's Fair style design of everything, where this show it's actually old school. But that opening sequence kind of left me wanting. It just seemed like slides almost, like kind of a minimum motion slides.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like they just took the animation cell and it's like boom.
Mm-hmm. If it don't have masturbating, it ain't worth watching. Yeah, we were at the Green Jackets game, and this guy who's clearly a season ticket holder, people, he's like got all this green on, and he pulls up Hulk hands. And I look over at my pops, and as soon as we saw it, we both just died laughing, thinking the same thing. It was so funny. Oh my gosh. All right. Though they changed a lot, I'll just say that. It's fine. I still love it, but they totally did that because they couldn't everyone straight white males. Yeah. That's a big no-no in Hollywood. Straight white males are like Hollywood kryptonite. It's just how it is right now. Smasturbator. Yeah. We have to watch the rest of Batman to see. But yeah, the story-wise, so how are they doing it? Are they doing it kind of like the animated series where it's episodic, but there's going to be stuff that like kind of calls back and like builds off older? Are they doing like House of the Dragon style where it's, you know, just serialized where it's like one long story cut into pieces? What are we doing with this?
Everything so far, the first 5 that I've seen seems to, I mean, there's some recurring themes and everything, and there are, you know, some things that play out, but pretty much every episode pretty much can stand on its own.
Yeah, definitely don't have to be at all, for sure. With Cliff on that. So yeah, I'm excited to dive back into it. Yeah. This is another one that's going to be. We just have Amazon on the TV. Kyle has it on her phone. I don't know what my hang up is with putting it on my phone, but I need to put it on my phone so I can actually watch this stuff.
So far, we've seen the Penguin, we've seen Clayface, we've seen Firebug. We've seen Harley Quinn. We've seen King Tut.
Oh, nice. From the Adam West. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That's really cool. So, yeah. I'm excited to dive into it. I've seen nothing but good stuff about it. Seen some people like poking fun or asking what's up with the female Penguin character. But that I've seen the people that have seen it said that they actually did a good job with that character. I'm just tired of people writing about historical times and updating it to modern sensibilities. If you want 30s, 40s, then honor the time. That's fair. What is going on, Roscoe? Yeah, next up on the agenda, and might lose some people to this, but Rebel Moon, the director's cut, are officially out. Not just part 1, but part 1 and 2 both released 2 days ago, dropped on Netflix. And so my history with Rebel Moon, I'm a diehard Snyder fan. I love Zack Snyder's movies. I love his directing style. I love the content that the movies that he chooses to make. I feel like I am the target audience for Zack. Doesn't mean that you have to be, and I'm fine with that. But when Rebel Moon was announced and they talked about the rollout and everything, I felt like they were they were late. They missed the plane. You know, the whole like let's do an extended cut to give people something else to look forward to. That's an old school thing, like with like DVD sales and stuff. And it was an unfortunate thing with the Justice League movie, and it's not something that you need to do anymore. And I understand Netflix getting Zack Snyder was a huge win for them, and they wanted to drag this out. I want to make it explicitly clear this was Netflix's idea. This was Netflix's call. This was not a Snyder call at all. And there are people that are for it, people that are against it. I'm against it. I watched Rebel Moon, what is it? A Child of Fire, which is part 1 of the PG-13 cut.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it. I'm like, I enjoyed it enough, but I can see all the problems with it when you edit something down that was not made with the intention of being edited down. So I did not watch part 2. Did you watch part 2 of the edited version?
I did.
What a cheater. What's it called? I don't even know the name of it.
It's called Rebel Moon Part 2.
They have names, though.
I can't remember what it was.
Okay. So I haven't watched Rebel Moon Part 2 that we can't remember the name, and I have not watched Rebel Moon Part 2, the director's cut, which I refuse to read the name yet. I want to wait till I'm watching it because they have these huge cinematic intros to them. Mm-hmm. But I did watch the director's cut for Part 1. It's called A Chalice of Fire, and it was vastly different, just like I expected it. You know, we have these great examples of like Ben Affleck.
The Scargiver. I knew.
Scargiver. That's right. Yeah, that was the PG-13 part 2. That's right. But we have some great examples in history where director's cuts vastly change context and stuff in movies. A great example is Ben Affleck's Daredevil. The director's cut's like 9 minutes longer, and there's an entire court case that was taken out of that movie that explains like the cops busting Wilson Fisk at the end of the theatrical cut, all kinds of stuff. Like the Snyder cut is the extreme example, obviously. But between the PG-13 version of Rebel Moon and the R-rated version, it's over an hour of difference of runtime. The first 24 minutes of Chalice of Fire is 100% new material. And I love what they did with the difference in this. So with the PG-13 cut, it started with narration and exposition, explaining so much stuff to us, setting the tone of and setting the stage for what we're about to see. Because we needed that because they weren't going to show it to us. With this one, they just drop you into this insane invasion war scene and you're just off for the races, and you get all that original exposition by the end of the movie from seeing it play out or having organic conversations between characters and stuff. So I love this format of show me, don't tell me. And when they say it's R-rated, he seriously meant that he was doing an R-rated sci-fi movie. So it's no secret, sci-fi fans historically love violence and nudity. That's just kind of things you can expect in hard sci-fi stuff. And he freaking brought both. He definitely brought it. But it was awesome. The characters that were in there briefly in the PG-13 one are a lot more fleshed out in this. It's just so much more to the villains too. The Mother World, so much more to them. They're not oh, we're mean, we're bad. No, there's a lot more to them, and you just you really see just how bad they were.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I mean, I think that, you know what, again, I like you, I understand why they did it, but you know what, if you're gonna have Zack Snyder do a movie, let him release the movie that he wants.
And I guess if they wanted to drag it out, there's no way to do it in the reverse order. If you drop these full versions, that's it. You're done.
Right.
But there's also, it's not just more footage. There's scenes that are definitely alternate. I only watched the first one time because after I watched it, I immediately thought I regretted watching this. I just want to watch the full cut. By fleshed out is really stretching, if you know what I mean. Very fleshed out. The PG-13 cut was like that meme of how it started to the director's cut being how it ended. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, Batman vs Superman Ultimate Cut is another great example. I absolutely love that Ultimate Cut. It's fantastic. But it's like 3 hours and 14 minutes, I think, 3 hours and 27 minutes, something like that. And I highly recommend it if you like sci-fi stuff. Like if you're a sci-fi fan, I can't imagine you not liking this movie. It isn't like there's a ton of sci-fi stuff out there to be like, oh, it wasn't as good as this or that. No, it's just for the genre. I think they crushed it, and like there's really cool concepts they introduced in it. It's not just it's very hard sci-fi, but they introduced like a level of fantasy or supernatural to it. And then again, I haven't watched part 2 of the PG-13 cut, so I don't know where that would get brought into the story originally, but it makes it into part 1 in this, which it wasn't in the previous one. So it's pretty cool. Do you ever see the engine room to the ships in the PG-13 cut, Paul?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That was wicked. That was something that was not in part 1, where they explain how these ships achieve thrust, how they do light speed. It's tragic. It's crazy. I couldn't stand the PG version and have zero desire to see more of it. Just not for me. There you go. Naked space vixens violently scissoring. Watch and see. Yeah, I enjoyed the heck out of it. Man, I'm kind of torn because I can't watch it. I have to watch it like off away from my kids. Like I turned it on yesterday and they're running around like, oh no, earbuds now.
I also would assume that the Anthony Hopkins character is probably more prevalent in.
Jimmy. So like Jimmy was the most intriguing character to me in the first one because like I wanted to know about him, wanted to know more about him. You see Jimmy get activated, you see him save the girl, and he runs off, and then you see him at the end of the movie with a cloak, staff, and the antlers on.
Right.
And that's all you got of him. No, Jimmy is all through. Jimmy's on a walkabout. He is on a spiritual journey. Like he has having full consciousness unlocked, and he's experiencing the world for the first time on this moon. And you see him, you cut to him at least 5 times through the director's cut of watching him come to these realizations, find the antlers and all kinds of stuff. And I'm assuming he's about to be a huge player in the battle in the second one. Like, yeah, I got to find that action figure. Joseph found one at his Walmart on clearance, and Kyle went to go do some last-minute school shopping and get some groceries for the week. And I sent her the picture. Joe sent me like, "Hey, see if they got these things." And she said it was too busy; she couldn't check. So I'm gonna make it by there, see if I can find one for the low. But I was on eBay looking at them last night when Joe messaged me like, "Bro, your timing is impeccable." But I'm glad he did. I was about to spend more money than I needed to probably. But yeah, Rebel Moon, check it out. Definitely check it out. Well, real quick, before we dive into comics, let me show you what's in the Legion loot. If you missed the video, I did do a video. It got pretty good views. It's pretty easy to just tinker some stuff and be like, yeah, I think this one will get good views if I do this. And so I spent $100. Just put that on the thumbnail. Worked. Celebrating Deadpool still because that movie is still happening.
It made $97 million this weekend. It's up to like $825 million worldwide.
Crossed $800 million. It is most certainly going to hit the billion. Absolutely.
Oh, by next weekend. Absolutely.
I know.
Sometime this week.
Oh, for sure. I know. Me and Kyle still want to go back and watch it in 3 dimensions because we just want more dimensions. But we got Deadpool classics. I did grab a couple of trade paperbacks because I know like when I'm excited, I want to read more about these characters and stuff. So I got one for Deadpool and Wolverine with his origins. It was a really cool series. And then got some John Jane goodness with the Green Arrow variant. Beautiful cover. Got the 1 in 5 variant for Mark Miller's Nemesis Rogues Gallery. This is the first Mark Miller book under Dark Horse. He moved over there, and now he's rocking and rolling. Prodigy starts next week, I believe, which Edison Crane is back. Deadpool from their Wizard Zeros. These things are awesome. So that's a pretty dope one there, featuring the lamest Deadpool in the Marvel Universe. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty. That'll be a fun one for somebody. And because Juggernaut, the Juggernaut of this year, we got the exclusive variant for Juggernaut right there. This is actually the copy that Ghost Machine sent me in the care package, signed by Jeff Johns. So an actual copy of Ghost Machine 1 signed by Jeff Johns from me, from Ghost Machine. That's in there. Some Tony Daniels ASM.
Nice.
Some David Nakayama Gwynverse. David Nakayama is definitely a popular artist. And last but not least, celebrating the return of Johnny Storm, Fantastic Four #1 from this is the Nolan run. Yeah, Ryan North, the Alex Ross cover there, and a CGC 9.8. So that's all going to one lucky winner tonight. I got the wheel ready, and we'll spin that bad boy before we head out of here. But before we do that, we're definitely going to talk about some of these funny books. We did not talk about any last week. This week was a smaller week, but there's still some, I'm sure, worth mentioning. You got any off the top of your head? Any next?
The only DC comic that came out was the one they want to talk about tomorrow night.
I'm talking about between this week and last week.
Oh, and last week.
Nothing last week.
Oh, I'd have to go back. I don't even remember what came out last week. Oh yeah, yes, Rick, yes.
Yeah, Rook Exodus, issue #4. The battle is finally started. Ursal has caught up with the Wardens at the Oasis, which is like the second most important location on the planet outside of the Earth engines that keep the atmosphere alive that have already failed. This is the place that has the technology that the masks depend on to link ultimately with the animals. They have technology in the masks, but without the Oasis, it doesn't work properly, or he who controls the Oasis ultimately controls all the Warden masks. So Ursal has been fighting his way to the Oasis, where we've met other characters such as Carapace, the Warden of the Terrapins or the Turtles, and he has the giant turtles guarding and everything, and it's pretty sad. He makes his way there, and he has Swine's old mask on his buddy, who's now like a bad guy, and then you have a Viper.
Not for long.
Forget what her name was. I forget both of those characters' names because it was Swine, but they have another name for the new guy. And so there's 3 bad guy wardens. One who controls the snakes was a flunky from Dire Wolf's training facility and everything. And you get a cool fight with them. You get the wolves that Dire Wolf has are savages. Rook takes a couple of L's. It looks like Carapace potentially is killed by Ursal. And they're losing. Ursal is getting this technology, it looks like. So,
but the new Swine guy doesn't last very long.
No, he doesn't, does he? He gets beat up by wolves.
Yeah,
he gets massacred violently. But it was amazing. This book is legitimately solid. Every time I finish reading it, I feel like it was so fast. It went so quick. I don't know. It's not a shorter book. It's just I think I just get fully immersed in it, and I don't realize how fast or how short it is. Here we go. C Bizzle is in the building. Say his name and he appears. I believe in C Bizzle. Clap, clap. I believe in C Bizzle.
Nice.
What is that? That's a wrestling thing happening right now or something? I believe in.
Was it LA Knight?
I don't think so. Oh, wow. I didn't realize I had a couple of books that I hadn't read yet over here.
Nope.
That's good stuff. One of them I did realize I haven't read yet. Did you read the newest issue of Flash?
I did.
Can you tell me about it?
No, I can't. No, I can't.
At least you're honest. You're honest. Let me get this variant right here. All right. I want to turn your attention to something.
All right. Joe Henry. That's what it is. I believe in Joe Henry.
Yep. There it is. I knew I'd seen
from
the name.
NXT. Yep.
So Flash, we're not going to waste our time with Void Rivals #11 and Dick Tracy #3. I have not read yet. I didn't realize that they were on the bottom of that stack. There's so many last week. But one I want to bring up is Berserker. He's back, kind of. They just officially announced the anime is coming. Originally, I believe it was announced as a live-action film and an animated series from the initial launch of this. Well, I don't know if they're still doing the live action movie, but at San Diego Comic-Con, they did confirm that they're still working on the anime show, and they gave details about it and all that. And since then, Keanu Reeves has actually done a novel with a very famous novelist who he co-wrote with. But where the comics are right now, and this is the second one, we have B at this place where other creators are coming in writing a story about B at some time in history. This one was done by Jason Aaron, and it's set in the Wild Wild West. Fantastic read. This was awesome. Like classic dad's mad at the daughter, she's marrying the wrong guy, kills the guy right there at the wedding, and it becomes like this ultimate like I want you to go like relieve me of my family and its violence kind of story.
Oh, and
And she,
Salvador Larroca did the art.
yeah, it was
Oh
amazing. I
wow,
don't know who that is, but it was amazing.
he was a big Marvel guy for the longest time. That's probably his first non-Marvel work in probably 10 years.
Well, he crushed it. He absolutely crushed it. And there was this place called the Comic Connection or Comic Link, something like that. It was weird. There's this place that distributes to only a small couple of shops, and they did their own exclusive. They didn't do an exclusive. The book had an exclusive through Boom, but they were the ones distributing it. So it isn't like any LCS could just get it ordered directly to them. They had to get them from these couple of shops. But Paul at ABX was able to get a few because
What?
that John
I know
Jane.
who that is.
Yeah, dude, that's a wicked cover. And this is a scene in the book too. When he rolls out the Gatling gun. Dude, I don't remember B taking that much damage except in maybe like that first issue when he was that first shock and awe issue when he was like ripping people's spines out and killing them with it, just body blown to pieces. But it's wild.
I got all my Berserker news from Whack Comics.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. They got you covered for sure. All right, this I'm just going to gloss over, but last week we got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 122. Now I got 2 copies of this one because it's the final issue, and they did this beautiful.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And when I say the final issue, I mean like legit final issue. Like licensing is changing.
Boom's not doing it anymore, right?
Yeah, so they did that, but the finale was a one-shot that came the very next week, just titled Darkest Hour, Mighty Morphin Power Ranger #1. So the big finale dropped this week. 8-year run, fantastic. Got every single issue, numerous variants along the way. Met Jason David Frank, and he signed some of these along the way. It has been such a fantastic journey. I'm a huge Power Ranger fan, raised with it. Just I'm sad to see it go. I'm glad that it's leaving on a good place.
Do they know where it's going to? Where the license is going to?
No, I haven't seen any information yet. We've seen the Todd father has a limited license for some of the toys that haven't been released yet, kind of like he does for G.I. Joes and Transformers. Yep. He's doing page punchers for those already. And Hasbro's, they're dropping the bag or something. And I would love to see Power Rangers back at Image. They've been there before. Mm-hmm. Like, it'd be cool. I mean, I can't imagine a world where Power Ranger comics don't release in some form or fashion, whether it be a little short story here, a run there. They've been coming out nonstop since they were created. Like they have little moments of break in between, but we won't be Power Ranger comic list for long. In that series that Amy Jo Johnson just did, she had a 4-issue miniseries that she wrote herself, the actress who played the Pink Ranger originally, and that ended with a to be continued kind of thing. It was a complete story, but left you with like, yeah, we got a second volume coming eventually kind of thing. So we'll see. Kind of feel FOMO for that cover. You got to be talking about that Berserker cover. It's nice, man. It's really nice. Super nice. Did you get a chance to read the Blizzard now that it released?
It will arrive actually in my shipment next month.
We'll definitely be talking this. For those that are on board the Ghost Machine bandwagon, this is one that went under the radar for a lot of people. I posted it on socials and everything to try to give people the heads up. This was originally collected in the Image 30th anniversary anthology that came out a couple years ago. And it was collected now in its own standalone. Jeff Johns wrote it. Andrea Moody did the art. Takes place in the Geiger Redcoat timeline of the unnamed universe, and it's an important story to that universe. And if you are collecting keys for Ghost Machine, you're going to want to go back and probably grab some of the floppies out of this, as well as it does have early appearances of stuff and things in it. But it's a horror story, straight up horror story, and basically prisoners being transported hit a storm, and it becomes a fight for survival. It's pretty wild. It's really cool. I got a question for you, Paul.
Yes.
Did you read this?
It will also arrive in the same.
Oh my god. Oh, Paul. Oh, Paul. This was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Nemesis Rogues Gallery, I mentioned it. We're giving away the 1-in-10 ratio variant for this tonight in the Legion loot. The return of Miller World since Big Game, the big coming together of all the individual Mark Miller projects. Paul knows last July, I told him I want to read all of Miller World because of Big Game, and I successfully did it before this July. I accomplished that goal, and before we started diving into more of these. Now that it's at Dark Horse, this is the first one of his titles that is coming out monthly, and it's the direct continuation from Big Game. Nemesis was the big baddie in there. He was kind of the hammer that Wesley and the fraternity was swinging at the good guys, but he was presumed dead, and you kind of figure out where he's at with this one and just how deep these evil super villain organizations and societies go, as well as what happens when the relatives and friends of victims that survived this guy come together. It's going to be really interesting. Going to be really, really interesting. Carlito, I'll throw one in there if you win. MSG, what is going on? We got stickers. Apparently, I am the unofficial king of the sticker people.
Long live the king.
Long live the king. Oh man, I better knock on wood. All right, now I know you read Gotham by Gaslight, didn't you?
Yes.
All right, what'd you think? Fill me in. I didn't read it yet.
Yeah, it's more than a week ago, so I tend to forget things after like 3 days. But
no.
yeah, but it still is. It's playing with Ra's al Ghul. It's playing with. We see Adam Strange is brought in here at this in this issue as well, and it goes into some of the history of some of the artifacts that they're dealing with. It's it's a little bit different than the original. Really, the only thing that's kind of is why it's still called Gotham by Gaslight is because it's set in the same time frame, but it really has really nothing to do with the first one at all, other than it has the same Batman. But as an Elseworlds, I think it's doing. It had another Dennis Cohen cover that I absolutely loved. I love Dennis Cohen. So yeah, I mean it's. So far, though, I think probably my favorite of the Elseworlds that have released is probably Dark Knights of Steel All Winter.
Yeah, that was tough. That was really tough.
It's probably my favorite one of the two so far that have. But we got a DC versus Vampire War coming up too.
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern Dark. Yep.
With returning to the Tangent world.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
From the solicitation, it looks like she's going to be having to deal with an entire planet of Solomon Grundys.
Yes. Yep.
I'm excited about that. Pops has always had, like those little thin DC, Dawn of DC posters. I give them away every Tuesday during the DC stream, but they made those back in the day for the Tangent characters, and Pops has had those up in the comic room, one of the comic rooms, for years.
Yeah.
Whenever you go in there, you see like the Tangent characters are cool. See, Joe looked it up. He said Random House Publishing bought out Boom Studios along with all their properties, which include Something is Killing the Children and Power Rangers. There's been zero announcements about them, still going on after their final issues. So that's actually pretty cool. I saw where Ross Ritchie posted that he sold Boom Studios, which I'm like, dude, talk about like American dream achieved right there, because he put in that post he's going to spend out the rest of his days with his family poolside kind of thing. I'm like, man, that's right. That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, that's what we were told. 4,000 subscribers makes you the sticker grand poopah. That's awesome. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to see what comes next. Like I said, I don't fear for Power Rangers. I think it's in a good place to end. So they weren't going into the next iteration of them, which is I wish they would have like went Zeo with them. But there's a thing with properties like Power Rangers. They're so successful because they're selling them to me, to my generation, to Burt Family 54, to Flash 6792, to Panda. When we were kids, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was our jam. So as adults, when we're getting nostalgic and they're writing adult stories with those characters, you want the ones that you were nostalgic to. Like, and as the years go, like those were other kids Rangers, like it was the ones that had the big toy craze and the live action movie in theaters that took America by storm. That's the ones that they keep forefronted in the comics. That's the ones that will make it worth the squeeze there.
Yeah, there are properties, and I think Power Rangers is one of them. They're like herpes; they go away for a while, but they'll be back.
They'll be back. Yeah, they always come back. MSG says something is killing the children is a good read. Surprised they have not made it in a series. It's been optioned for
It
the
was
longest
options, yeah,
time.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just being held by Netflix. I don't know if or what or where they're doing anything in production of it. I would definitely think circumstances might know. That's his number one series right there. I know he's looking forward to it. There's been a lot of fan casting. There's a lot of talk about it. About 2 years ago, people posting pictures of different actresses. Who is it that played in Furiosa, the new one? She was in Dune 2 for that one shot.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I know a lot of people fan cast her as Erica Slaughter and stuff. But yep. Another one bites dust. Transformers 10 came out. I don't know when a lot of this stuff came out, but Transformers 10 came out. Another great issue. The war's coming. Fight, fight, fight. Shockwave. We've met our first pacifist Transformer who's been stuck on Earth for a long time and revealed that he found the Ark eons ago and thank you. And just let him sit there because he knew by waking them up it would cause more violence and more fighting, and he wasn't down for it. And it looks like they're going to turn this pacifist into a badass before it's all said and done. I'm sure it's not going to last. Are you up to speed on Batman Dark Age?
I am.
This was dope. What'd you think?
Yeah, it's we finally got a new Rob. Well, we got the Robin in this particular iteration of it. So I'm liking what Mike Allred is doing with all the costumes too. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, they're not classic.
Yeah,
not classic at all. He's being very specific about showing you that these things are stitched or padded or stuff like that.
Right, and like Robin has like this helmet that he starts with almost. At one point, he ends up taking it off, but he got this like helmet. Yeah, but we get the origin of Robin and everything, and he definitely plays more towards the Chris O'Donnell type Robin than he does what you may have seen in the comics originally.
I'm a fan of the Chris O'Donnell Robin.
I'm waiting for my McFarlane characters to come in.
Yeah, me too, man. That's gonna be awesome. But yeah, it was really cool. I like the little twist on his origin as well. Like he was working for the gangsters and everything, and got in a place where like they're gonna have to off him because he's too much of a liability. Thought that was pretty cool too. But I'm enjoying the heck out of it as well. I'm surprised it's not labeled Elseworld.
Right. You think they would have to move to Wonder Woman next? You would think.
What would you think they would call it? Superman was called Space Age. Batman's called Dark Age. What would the Wonder Woman
Golden Age?
Golden Age. That'd be cool. I would say we need a Green Lantern one, but that was tragic what happened to him in Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
He was the only casualty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, eventually they all die, but yeah, that's one thing that's wild about reading this, right? Is knowing that, like, we have this multiverse of different worlds in DC Comics. There's been 52 of them here recently, up until the end of Absolute Power. I guess we'll have 53.
Mm-hmm.
But we have all these specific number of Earths that we can go visit and do stories on, like the Dark Knights of Steel Earth, the Kingdom Come Earth 22, the Tangent Earth. But this one doesn't exist.
Right.
Even we're reading about it, but it doesn't exist in current time. This is an actual Earth that died during Crisis. We're reading about characters that are dead. That's kind of weird looking at it. We're reading about ghosts.
Yeah, and Pariah plays a big part in both in the Superman one and in this one. So
Yeah, because this is just going back to the events before Space Age, and we saw how Space Age ended.
hmm
I think that's pretty wild. It's pretty cool. Sad, sad stuff. I'll tell you what else is sad is reading Department of Truth. This by far is my favorite James Tynion, the fourth book. I'm so glad it's back. These came into ABX last month whenever they released. It's issue number 23, and they came in slightly damaged. So I asked Paul, I'm like, hey, did the replacements come? He said, not yet. I said, well, where are the damaged ones? Can I just buy one of those? Because, I'm not retiring with this. I just want to read it, So I got, like, you can see where it looks like somebody along the way set a coffee cup on every single one of them and just put like a perfect little circle crease there. But it's no worries. But we're diving into Lee Harvey Oswald, who is the director of the Department of Truth, into his backstory, which is one of the most interesting, engaging, long-standing conspiracies in American history, none other than the assassination of JFK. Typically, the format of this book, you go into each issue kind of playing with a different conspiracy and unpacking it or looking at it from a certain angle, and how the Department of Truth is either trying to stop that story from being told or manipulate things to make sure that story is told and believed. And this is the one that a lot of readers, I'm sure myself included, have been waiting on, and it was fantastic. So I read that one already. I haven't read the one that came out this week yet, part 2, and it's got like the Zapruder footage.
Zapruder.
Yep, Zapruder footage there on the front. That's crazy.
Speaking of James Tynion, did you read Nice House by the Sea?
I got it right here.
Okay.
I do.
That was last week.
Support your sticker people. Buy Nice House by the Sea. The very own Justin Birch, professional comics lettered this. He's been working on it for a while. You can tune in Friday mornings to this very channel. He's typically hanging out on stream while lettering books. And the day that this hit solicitations, I mentioned it. He's like, glad someone said I'm actively working on issue 3 at the time, kind of thing. But it was this was wild. This is kind of a lot to unpack with this. Let me check the comments real quick. Mark, are you reading Dark Knights of Steel all winter? Yeah, we touched on that. That was tough. I know you're reading it. This is the Deathstroke guy right here. Carlito's number 1 guy is Deathstroke.
He's reading it, but he is sad that there are no Matina covers.
Dude, I'm a Matina fan. I've got Matina books sitting right.
But I'm saying you were, because he was supposed to do the ad in the comics still had cover by Francesco Matina that they canceled.
Yeah, I love Department of Truth, but I'm not a fan of the art. Martin Simmons is hit or miss for people. I think it worked. Like, I'm more of a fan of classical art myself, like fine, determined characters, features, and all that. But I think that for Department of Truth, because of the material that we're reading, it works so well to really add to the story, because there's so many parts of it where it's like it's really trying to convey like a feeling more than it is a specific thing. And also, like, there's so much distorting of the truth itself. It plays well in there. But I know a lot of people felt that way when it first dropped, and they still feel that way. I wouldn't want Martin Simmons doing any other book that I'm reading, not off the top of my head at least. That Skinwalker Ranch book, he would be good for that. That was a good little mini series. Did you talk about the whole sticker people thing? No, just not really. Just every now and then we say King of the Sticker People. What is going on? I Have Comic Issues is in the chat. Shout out to the sticker people. We did mention and show how the sticker people were able to go throw out a first pitch at the Green Jackets game, as well as promote comics curing cancer while doing it, where the sticker people come together and have raised $95,000 directly for the American Cancer Society. So we mentioned the sticker people a little bit, and how it's just crazy to think that sticker people get together just to have fun and enjoy this hobby, and have just somehow managed to do really cool things along the way. It's wild. Yeah. What'd you think of Nice House by the Sea? We're back. for the craziness.
We are back. It pays tribute to the first one at the very beginning because we talk about Walter there for a second, but it really is kind of its own thing. Um, Other than it brings all these people together, but there's different powers and different people have different abilities and things like that, and they can do with certain things like the weather. They can control the weather. So I'm fully invested in exploring the mystery more.
Yeah, and I think this is really cool too because it's they're showing us that the nice house by the lake was not the only house. Walter is not the only entity that has this Noah's Ark experiment that they're doing to try to maintain some form of humanity after the apocalypse. We still don't know what causes the whole end of the world. We just know that this entity is going about filling up the house by the sea differently than Walter did. Walter did not let all the people know what was happening. They uncovered it and discovered it along the way in that 12-issue maxi series. And this one, they're going into the house knowing willingly. And I'm curious how that's going to change the dynamic of it. And we also got the difference of timing here. We see at the end of this, Nora and two of the characters from the end of Nice House by the Lake show up at the end of this one. So if we're going to dive into this, it's pretty much mandatory that you go back and reread at least issue number 12. If you haven't read Nice House by the Lake, you have to read it first. And all the exposition, all the details, all the stuff, they're really they're not playing this as a standalone at all. It is a continuation, which I appreciate more than just a standalone. I need to redo this song, The Beautiful People by MM, and change it to The Sticker People. Yeah, do it. Definitely do it. I would love your opinion. Speaking of stickers, debating about putting my comic community on my short box. What
Absolutely.
you think? Yeah, do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Want a Johnny Red Rocket, make it neat. Do it. Did you read Flash Gordon #1?
I did not.
Are you pulling it?
It is, yeah. It's arriving with everything else.
Right.
Jeremy Adams, of course, I'm reading it.
Yeah, I didn't have it on my pull list because like I don't remember to put a lot of stuff on my pull list. I just show up, could grab it, like, hey, add this. They had the blank cover and this cover, the only ones left. So I think I'm going to go on the My Comic Shop or eBay or something because I'm not the biggest fan of this cover. It's not the end of the world, but there were some really cool covers if I'm not mistaken. I think I want a different one, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet. A lot came out. Been really busy.
Blood Hunt finished this past week.
The whole thing?
But it's done. Some of the miniseries are still going on, but the Blood Hunt, the main series, is finished.
So what happened? Did they win?
Doom at the end of issue 4. He said that he told Stephen Strange that he needed to be the Supreme Sorcerer in order to fix everything that's going on. And so that happens in issue 5. And Stephen gives it to him saying, as long as when you fix everything, you give it back. Give you a word that you give it back. And so he does. And again, I'm not really a Marvel guy, so a lot of stuff, but they fix everything. The people that were changed, like Miles Morales, as far as I can tell, they're still vampires, but they're daywalkers now, kind of like Blade. So there will be some lingering effects of things that.
What compelled you to dive into this event?
I don't know. I mean, it just kind of seemed like I think I was trying to see if it was as good as I thought DC versus Vampires was.
Which one? It wasn't.
Yeah.
DC versus Vampires goes hard. It goes really hard. That's on that whole let's do Deceased again. Well, we can't because we're still doing Deceased. All right, well, let's do something different. Call it DC versus Vampires and do it again.
And then once I started it, I only got the main story. I didn't get any of the tie-in issues. I only got the main stories. But
I got issue 1, that red band cover. It came with the teeth and all that. It's over here. Yeah, it's over here. So I got issue 1 red. I haven't taken it out of the poly bag. I bought it. I'm like, I want to check out this event. And then I was in the store, and me and Paul at ABX sat there, and look through the red band one and the regular one to see how much extra pages are in it and stuff. And I got home and I sat down, had the book in front of me. I'm like, I'm not going to read this. So
Yeah.
I just bailed and didn't
And
open it.
then
I was going to give it away.
it ends is going to be a huge Doctor Doom story coming out in November now. That's what's coming out now. The thing that I don't like is now. I mean, they did Red Band with this, and I guess I could kind of give them a pass because it was a vampire thing and blood and everything like that. But now Wolverine is doing a Red Band issue, and there's another
Hell yeah.
character that's doing a Red Band issue, and I'm like, you know what? Now it's just. I mean, not that I wouldn't have realized this before, that it's not just a cash grab thing, but it's like it obviously is just a cash grab thing. Where
Yeah,
you
that's
change,
why I bought that because I love a good gimmick. And I thought that was a
right?
great gimmick. But they
And
could
now,
just put out mature
yeah,
books
and
also.
now they're doing the X. I mean, all at the end of all the X-Men books now, they're doing a
Oh,
QR
God.
code where you got to do the QR code to get
To
to
see
another
the last
page.
page, yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez. And what's funny is I've talked to a handful of people that are pulling X-Men. I'm like, that said that they didn't even QR code it because they were kind of bummed out from the book. Like NYX has gotten like pretty poorly reviewed. X-Men, the first one, like everyone was kind of like, man, that left me wanting extremely bad. People weren't digging the Stegman art, which was blowing my mind. And I looked at it and I really wasn't digging it. That just, I mean, maybe it'll find its footing. It's again one of those transitional periods going from an entire era from Krakoa over to this, but we'll see. Boom, we got a new member. MSG Comics has joined the channel membership. Big shout to him, and you get one of these. MSG, make sure you hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, any social. It sends you out a new member welcome packet. Ironically enough, my friend, it's stickers and magnets and stuff. Like, yeah, completely free of charge. If you want it, hit me up. Happy to send it out. I got issue 1 of Blood Hunt and a giveaway that I won from Trev the Shipping Guru. Nice. Yeah, that it looked cool. I'm not gonna lie, it looked cool. Just I'm so many books that I haven't read yet. I didn't realize they were still sitting here, but I just get a lot of stuff. I'm really devoted to DC, Ghost Machine, and Energon. And really, when you think about it, that's a lot of books on its own.
yep.
Ghost Machine's putting out 3 ongoing, and we're just a couple of months away from the second wave being added to that. Energon puts out 4 books a month, and then DC. I pull a lot of DC, and then of course I still pull Hulk and Ghost Rider.
And we got Absolute Comics coming too.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Which apparently Scott Snyder said that as of right now, there are 8 Absolute Comics. We've only been told about 5 of them so far.
That's a lot.
But apparently the 6th one is Absolute Martian Manhunter.
Oh, here we go. All right. Red Band Casper. How friendly is too friendly for a ghost? Yeah, speaking of Ghost Machine, this is the I'm not going to open it right now, but the San Diego Comic-Con ash can for Mr. X-Ray, Hyde Street.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've got 2 of my San Diego Comic-Con books in so far. I'm still waiting on 1 more, I think. And then I'll figure out if I'll open them or just put them in the stack of mail from 4 years ago. I love how Hickman started the new X-Men universe, but felt robbed with all the damn titles and crap that happened. I dropped the new series. Yeah, a lot of people felt that way. Like I've got 2 people that I pick on them about it, but completely trust them and enjoy listening to them give the feedback, the reviews, and keep up with X-Men vicariously through John's Comics with Kids and Chaos with Comics. They're like I am with a lot of titles. They're not fair weather friends. They're going to get it. They're going to follow it when it's good, when it's bad, and when it's in the middle. And both of them, who are the biggest pro X-Men comic readers that I know, were both bummed out by where X-Men is right now. C. Bizzle can't wait for the new X-Men books. I did order Wolverine #1 from Big Time Collectibles, that black and yellow John Jang variant. Holy potatoes, that thing was sick. Yeah, I tell you what, watching Deadpool and Wolverine got me excited, but not enough to pull any of these X titles. I was excited when I heard that they're going to be relaunching, having another like how Hickman started a whole era, how we're going to be doing that again. But they included with the announcement 9 titles. Like we're going to relaunch X-Men, jump in with these 9 titles. That's not a jump on point. That's a get lost point.
Right.
So I'm not for that. Like, that's an entire publisher.
Right.
9 titles. That's a publisher. That's crazy to me.
That's 9 new adjectives I have to learn.
Yeah, they do have. What are some of the other ones? There's a couple of them. I forgot. There's a couple of them.
I think uncanny and exceptional are the two,
exceptional,
right?
That's the other one. Yeah, exceptional.
And then just X-Men is the third one.
Gail Simone is doing one of them. I can't remember which one it is, but Gail
doing
Simone.
Uncanny.
Yeah, she's back, man.
Yep.
She's back, and that one had me thinking like I might grab issue 1 of that one and see what's up with that one, because dude, she crushed it on Action Comics. That was so nice having her on Action Comics. That was such a good issue. I can't wait for the next one of that. So I don't know what else she's going to be doing outside of those 3 Superman stories, and I don't know how long she's planning on doing the X title, but yeah, we're over the hour mark, and I was trying to keep it short tonight. You got anything else you want to hit on or touch on, or anything, or you want to just?
I think we're ready to do the drawing.
Let's do it. I'm glad you reminded me. There we go. So again, this is for the July Legion loot. Good luck to everybody in there, and then be sure to keep up with the channel, the community tab. I'll do updates on there as the next one gets put together and all that stuff. I have not started at all on it, but there is a giant package on the way from Big Time Collectibles. So starting with the next one with the books from the sponsor, Big Time Collectibles, be sure to check them out at bigtimecollectibles.com. Follow them on social media. But the books that will be added from them will be from new stock, because they send me like a massive box each time, so it takes months to get them all out. So I'm excited to see what's in there, because I don't keep any of them for myself. 100% of them get paid for to the community. So good luck to everybody. Here we go. I'm going to shuffle it till Paul tells me to stop.
Stop.
And as always, I will remind any and everybody that if you do not win, it is Paul's fault. If you do win, be sure to tell him thank you. Last month, Circumstance won a massive Legion loot, including the first appearance of Deadpool and all kinds of goodies. And he was nice enough to tell Paul thank you. So if you win, please do so as well. And if you get upset that you didn't win, I'll direct you to Sector's DMs on Instagram. Who do we got? 3-2. Boom.
I didn't realize we had a live studio audience. It claps and everything when people win.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. He's not watching, so this will just show up at his doorstep probably Friday. He'll be like, what did Mark send me now? What is this? Hopefully he doesn't find out before it gets to him. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Be sure to check out tomorrow's video. It's a really fun video. I made a very uncomfortable move and talk about it in tomorrow's video. And see how that plays out. See how that lawyer. Yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow's video to come out. Every now and then there's some that I'm more excited about than others, and this one was just I want to hear some feedback on that one. But remember, tomorrow night at 9:30, me and Paul will be live on his channel for the DC Comics Deep Dive's 100th episode. He has a stack of stuff he's giving away, from Dark Crisis hardcover. Was it Lazarus Planet, Night Terrors,
Gotham War, the complete Titans Beast World, lenticular covers.
Every single event from the start of Dawn of DC to current will be up for grabs tomorrow. And all you got to do is be present, hanging out, and we'll be talking DC, and we'll be talking about all those events, as well as the most recent issue of Absolute Power, Task Force 7, issue number 3, which I'll say it again, was the best DC comic I've read all month. That was so good. It was ridiculous. But yeah, we'll be reminiscing on that. So hope to see all y'all over there. Until next time, as always, we are Legion.
Is that it? Is that all you got?